Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
So good evening. I am your lecture teacher for the next 4 weeks. So our program is 4 weeks Chinese teaching.
Yep.
So let me do some self-introduction. So my name is Luan Ye. You can call me Alan, and I'm from China. My first language is Chinese. So my degree is Bachelor of Commerce. I used to study at the University of Adelaide. So what about you?
My name is Walker and I come from Australia. I'm 40 years old. I'm a businessman.
Oh, it's good to meet you. So let's start our first week. This is our course outline. So on our first week, we will study the Chinese language basics, just give you some clues about the pinyin and the spells. And the second weeks, we will teach you how to socializing with Chinese. And third week, um, I will teach you some business conversations and some traditional Chinese.
Yep.
So on the fourth week, we'll do a summarize and some test about what we learned in the past 3 weeks. Is that okay?
Cool.
Okay. So welcome to our first week of lecture. This week is about Chinese pinyin and punctuation. As you can see, pinyin is a system of writing symbols that uses the Latin alphabet to indicate the pronunciation of Chinese characters, also called Hanyu pinyin. Chinese pinyin provides an easy, scientific, and standardized way to teach Chinese language by representing different tones through the Latin alphabet plus tone symbols. So there are 23 consonants and 24 vowels, including both monosyllabic and polysyllabic Chinese characters. The pronunciation rules of Chinese pinyin are different from so the pronunciation of Chinese pinyin are different from the original sound rules of the Latin alphabet and require special study and practice to master them proficiently. So in Chinese, the definitions of in Chinese, the definitions of consonants and vowels are the same as the concept in the phonetics. A consonant is a phoneme that requires the assistance of the tongue, lips, and other oral parts to be formed when pronouncing a sound in Chinese. So there are 21 consonants in Chinese, like bo, p, m, f, d. So these consonants play a very important role in the pronunciation of Chinese, and the sound produced by different consonants are coordinated and intertwined to form various syllables and words in Chinese. So this part is about consonants. You can take a note. So next we are going to talk about the vowels in Pinyin. So vowels are phonemes that are produced without the assistance of the tongue, lips, or other parts of the mouth, and are pronounced without any obstruction of sound vibration. So there are 23 vowels in Chinese. R, O, E, R, U, so something like that. And vowels play a key role in Chinese words, combining individual consonants to form different syllables and words. Do you have any questions about this page? Okay, so we will move on. So next part, we are going to talk about the pinyin tones. The pinyin tones are the symbols used to indicate the tone of syllables in the Hanyu pinyin system. Tones are an important part of Chinese phonology it can change the meaning of a word. So it's very important to have an accurate grasp of Chinese tones when learning and using Chinese. So do you have any questions about this part?
All good.
Yeah, I'll go. So in Pinyin, tones are divided into 4, which are represented by 1, 2, 3, and 4 symbols with numbers. They are defined as follows. So you can see on the right corner here, the first tone is the flat tone. There's no rise or fall of the tone. And the second tone is rising tone. The tone rises from low to high. And the third tone is descending. The tone falls from high to low. And the fourth tone is declination. So the tone first decreases from high to low and then bends upward. These are the common words I can teach you. For example, you in English, in simplified Chinese, is called 你. And me in English, in simplified Chinese, is called 我.
Wow.
So pinyin tones are essentials for accurate pronunciation. Using the correct understanding and use of Chinese. So when learning Chinese, it's important to pay attention to the teaching and practice of the tones. So do you want to try this one? In English is for 1, and in simplified Chinese is for 一. Yeah, that's good. So we'll move on. Okay, so in week 2, we would like to teach you the socializing with Chinese. The main subject is form a sentence with subject, verb, and object. So the subject, verb, and object is one of the most basic sentence structures in Chinese grammar, as well as in English and many other languages. And it consists of 3 elements: subject, predicate, and object. So the subject points out the central meaning of the sentence. It is the main body of the sentence described. So the verb, it can point out the action, state, or description of the subject made by the subject. It is usually formed by verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and is located after the subject. And the object of the verb is to which the subject is subject, usually made up of nouns, pronouns, and located after the predicate. So you can see the example here. Reading makes me happy. In Chinese version is 阅读使我高兴. In this scenario, reading it stands for the subject, makes it stands for the verb, and me stands for object. Do you understand this?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now we will do some practice. I will need to ask you to outline the subject, verb, objects for this sentence. So we will start with the first one. 我们生产婴儿服装. What is the subject, verb, and object?
我们 is the subject, 生产 is the verb, and 婴儿服装 is the object. Is
Okay.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you for this. So we'll move on to the next page. So in week 3, we will do the business conversation. In Australian business etiquette, it is possible to show application and excitement, but such emotions should be suppressed in China. When doing business with Chinese people, it's best to remain calm. The most you can do is to say polite things, be polite, and smile. And in China, it's important to respect older people and superiors. If you act or speak in a disrespectful manner, it can damage the business relationship. Don't be motivated by gratitude to give gifts or to tip at restaurants. Do you understand this?
Yeah, understand.
So, in the last week, we will do a summarize about the previous 3 weeks. So week 1, we study consonants, vowels, and pinyin tones. So can you please read the following words aloud using standard Chinese pronunciation?
Yeah, I'll try. 你
So
好，
first one is
你好，
and the next one, the second one.
男士，
Yes, that's correct. And third one,
石器，
that is correct. So I will leave you with week 2 and week 3 and do as an assignment yourself. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have doing well in Chinese Wenzhou's trip and make a good business. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.